Good morning, students. Here I am, Mrs. Danya. Now we are moving on with the poem after Blenheim. Okay, after Blenheim is the poetry, that is chapter 4th, and this poem is by Robert Southey. Robert Southey is you can see he is an English romantic poet. He wrote this poem after Blenheim in 1796, and it is a poem about a battle that took place in Blenheim, a village in southern Germany in 1704. So it is a village in southern Germany named Blenheim, and this is a battle. This is a poem about a battle which took place in Blenheim. So about this a kind of war which is being explained by Robert Southey in this poem. And this poem actually wanted to emphasize the repetitions of the wars, that war is actually senseless, it is of no use, it is evil. Because what is the effect of war? After war, what happens? Destructions, people get separated, lot of loss. So war is actually not futile. Okay, and this poem is actually telling that the people, that what they think of war. Usually the people who have no idea, they say it is a famous victory, it was a victory, but actually the victory is what? Both the side people lose, they lose their men. So it is actually not a victory. Victory means one wins, but the winner also does not lose anyone. But here the one who wins, who have the victory, those set group also lose their people. So here the poet want to emphasize us the gist of war, what really happens. And here Robert Southey want to describe this battle. And this here the conversation is between a grandfather, he's an old man named Old Casper, and his two grandchildren, one girl and one boy. Okay, one is the grandchild named Wilhelmine, and the other grandchild name is Peterkin. Okay, Wilhelmine is a girl child and Peterkin is a boy. So these two are the grandchildren of Old Casper. And Old Casper, they are asking about the war. They found certain things in their field where they were playing, and those things they were trying, like children, small kids, they are very anxious to know all the kind of things around them. So they were also small and they were anxious, and they used to ask their grandfather about these all kind of things. Grandfather was not knowing the proper reason or proper idea, and he just used to tell them it was a victory, it was a great famous victory. That the thing the old man used to tell the children. Now let us see the poem. It starts like that. It was a summer evening. Old Casper work was done, and he before his cottage door was sitting in the. Now what happened? It was a summer evening. Old man, the old grandfather, was sitting near his cottage door after completion of his work, and was sitting in the sun. And by him spotted on the green his little grandchild Wilhelmine. Now what happened? The little grandchild Wilhelmine, the girl, she was playing, and she spotted on the green. She found something in the field, and she just saw it and was going to tell his brother, and afterward they were coming to their grandfather. So grandfather found them that these two kids are playing in the field. She saw her brother Peterkin roll something large and round. She saw that her brother was bringing something very round and large, which he beside the rivulet in playing there had found. And he was playing beside the rivulet means near the stream. Beside the stream he was playing, and there he found something large and round. He came to ask what he had found that was so large and smooth and round. Now, with that large and round thing, to whom he was coming? To Old Casper, to his grandfather, because he was their grandfather. So all the ideas he may be having according to the kids. So he was bringing that to the grandfather and wanted to know what it is. Then what happened? The old Casper took it from the boy, who stood expectant by. Now old Casper took that round and large thing from the little boy and took that, and then the old man shook his head and with a natural sigh, "This some poor fellow's skull," said he, "who fell in the great victory." He just took that round and large thing and he told his child, he was the child who was expecting the answer, he was telling the child, "It is the skull of a poor man." Skull means, you can understand, no? The part of the head, the skull. The skull of a poor man who fell in the great victory. Means there was a war and he died in the great war. So this is just the skull. Now just imagine, so simply he said that it's just a skull, because that place only it all happened, there only they were living. He said it may be the skull of any poor fellow who was in the war in that great victory. I find them in the garden for these many years about, and often when I go to plough, the plowshare turns them out. Now the old man said, I find them in the garden. I usually find them in the garden, for there are many here. It is not only one, there are many skulls around. And often when I go to plough the field, the plowshare turns them out. The plowshares means the other people who are ploughing the field, they just throw it out. Means many are there, not only one. For many thousand men, said he, were slain in that great victory. He said there were many thousand men, it's not one or two, many thousand men who were just ruined in this great victory, who have lost their life, and their skulls are here. Because many bodies were not found, so their skulls are here. So it all happened in the great victory. So then, now tell us what 'twas all about, young Peterkin, he cries. Now you can understand the curiosity of children. He was so curious. He said, then what happened? What's it's all about? Why this all happened? And little Wilhelmine looks up with wonder waiting eyes. The little girl, she was younger to Peterkin. She was also shocked, with anxious, with surprising, with wonder waiting eye. She was also looking up to to her grandfather and wanted to know why this all happened, why people died, what happened. Now tell us all about the war and what they fought each other for. The children's question were very interesting. They said, now tell us about the war. What is this war? And why the people fought with each other? What was the reason of fighting with each other? The old man said, it was the English, Caspar cried, who put the French to rout, but what they fought each other for I could not well make out. He said it was a fight between English and French. And in that fight, I don't know, I could not well make out for what they fought for. I don't know the reason. Now see, this old man also not knowing the proper reason, but he is calling the war as a great victory. So he's saying it was a war between English and French, and I don't know for what reason they fought, I could not well make out, but everybody said, quote he, that was a famous victory. But he said everyone told that it was a famous victory. Now just imagine, he heard to everyone's words. Like what happened? It's very easy thing, you can, when rumors passes from one place to other, one person say he is a great man, it goes to next, he is a great man. And if someone asks who is that great man, why you calls him a great man, then the next person will say, oh, I just heard someone calling that person a great man. Means no one is knowing the exact reason why he is a great man. Same way the old Caspar not knowing the reason why the war took place, what was the matter, but as everyone told it was a great victory, so he also regarded it as a great victory. Then the old man said, my father lived at Blenheim then, yon little stream hard by. Now he said that time when this war took place, my father was living at Blenheim, near the stream, beyond the stream. They burned his dwelling to the ground and he was forced to fly. But everything was burned, so he was forced to leave that place and move. And he was forced to fly, so with his wife and child he fled. Now had he where to rest his head. So with his wife and children, means this old Caspar is telling about his father. He was telling about his father, that when his father was here in Blenheim, then this war took place and his house was set on fire, so he was forced to go out, he had to fly off, so he moved with his wife and child. So who was that child? This old Caspar. Nor had he where to rest his head. Now he's saying he was not knowing where to go, so he just went away somewhere else to rest his head. With fire and sword, the country round was wasted far and wide. He said everywhere there was fire and sword, means whole country was fighting, was wasted far and wide. It was a great destruction. Now see, when it came to his family, he called it a great destruction. He said it was a great destruction. Everywhere fight, everywhere destruction, all these things were happening. And many a children mother then and newborn baby died. And many pregnant ladies and many newborn baby, they had to die there. Means many mothers, many pregnant women and their baby were dead in this war. But things like that, must be at every famous victory. Now see, here he is telling both the thing. Means somewhere old Caspar is knowing that this war is a destruction. It is taking away the life of people. It is taking away the young mothers, their children, the family, the house, everything is being burned. But then also he is coming to a conclusion, but whatever it is in famous victory, these all things happens. Now see, he is knowing the ill effect, but still he is not ready to accept it. Now then he says, they say it was a shocking sight after the field was won. He said people used to say it was really a shocking sight after after the field was won, and many thousand bodies here lay rotting in the sun. And many bodies in this field, they were lying dead, and many bodies got rotten in the sun. But things like that, must be after a famous victory. But again he is telling the children, but things like that, it happens always in the famous victory. It happens, people die, people suffer, people get distracted, everything happens. It just happens in the famous victory. Means very casual he is. Great praise the Duke of Marlborough won and our good Prince Eugene. Now he is giving great praise to the Duke of Marlborough. Duke of Marlborough is a city in US, and he is English General Commander, Duke of Marlborough, and our good Prince Eugene. Eugene was an Australian general who helped Duke of Marlborough to fight with French at Blenheim. You can write this, that Duke of Marlborough is the English General Commander and Marlborough is the city in US, and Prince Eugene was an Australian general who helped Duke of Marlborough to defeat the French at Blenheim. Okay, so Duke of Marlborough was an English general commander. So old Caspar said, why 'twas a very wicked thing, and our good Prince Eugene, why that was a very wicked thing. Now this line who said? Velleman. Said little Velleman that it was really a wicked thing. She put up the question that what perspective, means what result you get. This was a wicked thing, very bad thing. Nay, nay, my little girl, quoth he, it was a famous victory. The old Caspar said, no girl, it was not a wicked thing, it was a famous victory. And why he is praising Duke of Marlborough? Because Duke of Marlborough won. It means here you can understand that old Caspar also belongs to English. That is why he was praising the English. He belongs to England. Okay, and Duke of Marlborough and Prince Eugene won over French. Okay, so he was praising the English and he said that it was a famous victory. And everybody praised the Duke who did this great fight, did win. Now he said, everyone praised the Duke of Marlborough because he did this great fight and he won. So he was praising the English people. It means old Caspar also belonged to, he was also an Englishman. That is why he was praising. So he said everybody praised the Duke who this great fight did win. But what good came of it at last, quote little Peterkin. Peterkin said, okay, everything fine. But what good came? What was the good that came out at the end? What result? Was the result good? Why that I cannot tell, said he, but 'twas a famous victory. The old man said, that I don't know. I cannot tell you what happened, whether it was good or bad. But I know only one thing, that it was a famous victory. You can see here in complete poem, one line the old Caspar is repeating that this war was a famous victory. Means he is not ready to accept, knowingly he is not ready to accept that it was not a famous victory. He was telling there was destruction. He told the many pregnant women and many newborn babies died. But after knowing all this thing also, he was not able to satisfy his grandchildren. And even the grandchildren, after listening, understood this war is not at all good, it's not at all a victory, it's not at all famous thing. What result it is giving? It is only giving destruction, harm to the people, harm to the civilians. And they were putting up question, but they were not satisfied with the answer of old Casper. And old Casper just moved on and end up with the word only saying this: it was a famous victory. And this is the mentality of we all. We are not ready to accept the truth. We are ready to move on or go on with the things what moves around in the world. What the people say, we also move on with the same thing. And the truth, knowingly we know the truth, but still we are not ready to accept. Same thing this poem about the war, it has been telling. I hope you understood. Move on with the question answer in the workbook. Thank you.